Here with Coach Sean Kirikoff, the Sean Kirikoff Show. Coach, how are we doing again this week?
Very good.
Good to hear. One match last week, got the win. Nice 3-1 victory against New Orleans. Like you said, I believe after that match, girls got a couple of days off before two big ones this week.
They are big.
So how do you think that those couple of days off maybe will help this late in the season? Just a little bit of time?
Yeah, I think any type of rest that you can get towards the end of the conference season is always good. It should have benefits, but you got to make sure that you get back in the gym and then get on track again. So from a physical standpoint, absolutely. But anytime you take any type of break from just touching the ball a little bit, you always kind of get concerned as a coach, but they probably don't care about that.
It was homecoming and all that
right,
stuff.
I'm sure they had a blast.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about this week. Like I said, two big ones. You got HBU on Thursday, McNeese on Saturday. It's that same two teams that we saw just a couple weeks ago in the same order. And we talked a little bit about this the past couple weeks, but I guess focusing more on HBU first got the win here. Got to be some confidence there, but HBU's been playing pretty well since then.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're a good team. And that's why that win here was as big of a deal as it was. I mean, they are good. We've had our ups and downs, but it kind of shows what we're capable of doing. But like we've said it several times, or I have said, that they're going to be highly motivated to get a little revenge in this rematch. The little difference is they've got their senior outside back, Vibens, and she's a first-team all-conference player, at several times throughout her career. She's really good, and so that absolutely changes things. It stabilizes them in some ways that we were able to take advantage of the first time around, so that will kind of change how we approach some things, but I still think that the way we were able to play well against them still holds true. Now to be able to put it into action.
You mentioned that senior coming back. I think she was out with some injuries earlier in the season, but what kind of boost do you think that gives them having her back, knowing that they were expecting her to play a big role in their success and not having her, and now she's starting to really, I think, find it again over the last few matches she's been in?
Yeah, it's a big thing. I mean, I think there's some comfort in they had those injuries to some seniors, not just the outside, but one of their middles as well, and that they continue to do well. I think you can kind of get some level of comfort from there, but it's got to be exciting to be able to get that type of talent back now. Which is a little bit unique for this time of year, is you got to figure how it all fits in, and it's not necessarily a smooth process, because you had some players start to show up and say, okay, I can do this, we can be successful, and now things get a little bit more crowded from a depth chart standpoint. So, I mean, that causes its own issues. So it's a positive and a negative.
Yeah. Simone's really been on a tear the past few matches. She's had 3 straight double-doubles. Her and Bree really carried the offense in a lot of ways on Thursday. But while they really stood out, I mean, you look at Addie, you look at Jaylee Beth and Audrey really provided that other option on Thursday. Certainly, I feel like going to be immensely much more important as well to keep that going Thursday and Saturday this week.
Agreed, yeah. And we've talked about it at the beginning of the year of just how spread out the offense was, and that was both, again, a positive and a negative, is that we didn't necessarily have somebody that can go, okay, I'm just going to do it all myself. So a lot of different things that we're getting from a lot of different players, which is fantastic. And then you brought up Simone and Bree. They've started to kind of incrementally just do a little bit more. And now both of them are right next to each other in the top 10 for points scored per set in the conference. So to have that balance and to have them start doing just a little bit more really tees us up to have a good run in the second half of the conference if we can stay consistent, have them stay at their level, and then still get that production that you were talking about from a bunch of other people.
Like I said earlier, the same series or the same schedule as we saw a couple weeks ago, where HBU was here on Thursday, then we hosted McNeese. So we go to HBU Thursday, at McNeese on Saturday, and he talks about it then. They do a lot of similar type of things, those little small adjustments that we're going to need to make between Thursday and Saturday. Do you feel like a second time around through this same sort of scout will hopefully be helpful?
Hopefully, yeah. And you said it there, you pointed something out that's a little bit unique, and it's not normal. Usually when you're on the second half of the conference schedule, everything's flipped. So we would be seeing McNeese first and Houston Baptist second. And that would have been nice, because like we've talked about, we've been in a position to where we've been playing at a high level when we've had time to prepare for a team. It would have been nice to kind of change that up a little bit and to have a little bit more time to prepare for McNeese, knowing that what we did already against HBU worked. That would have been nice. We don't have that. So it will be interesting to see how we go in and see how HBU changes, just like UNO changed a little bit something. And it took us a little while to kind of catch on to that. Everyone's going to be like that. There's going to be a few that are just like, this is what we do, and we'll see if it works. But HBU is good enough and versatile enough to be able to show a little something different. So it'll be interesting to see how we play against them, and then the turnaround in the short time to prepare for McNeese, who also may show us a little bit something different. And they've been changing around with their lineup still a little bit to try to figure out what's going to be their best lineup. So that in itself will provide some different challenges, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
So you're maybe expecting more change from HBU since we beat them than McNeese. They had the success offensively that they did, or just
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know the answer to it, because they took out, and I don't know if there was an injury or some other issue. McNeese took out one of their starting setters, outsides, and went with somebody else who is a little bit bigger presence at the net. But yeah, I don't know why, but it worked in a couple matches. And if they stick with that, I don't know. They made a change at libero as well. So we could see something different just because they're experimenting. And again, I don't know if there's injuries that kind of played a role in that or not. And then we know we're going to be able to see something a little different from HBU just because of the experience and talent they've been able to bring back from the injury.
Yep. Finally, Coach, what is the best Halloween candy, and why is it Reese's Peanut Butter Cups?
It is Reese.
Is that why your daughter's name is Reese?
That's why my daughter's name is Reese, yeah. She always jokes, maybe some sarcasm or bitterness to it, I don't know, of like, I'm just named after candy, and that's it. So that obviously, because of my daughter, that is the best candy.
Yeah. Well, get her plenty of them for Saturday.
Will
for
do.
sure. Appreciate your time as always, Coach, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.